Ben, thanks so much for joining us. I wonder if you could just set the scene, introduce yourself and your role at Kentico first.
Sure. So good to be here. Thanks, Geoff. So Ben Franklin, been at Kentico now for about 4 years, and around 6 months ago I took over the role of VP of Sales for EMEA and Latin America as well. So we've built out a team. We're still continuing to grow, and Kentico ourselves, we've been going for 16 plus years. Traditionally as just kind of a CMS vendor. Recently moved into DXP. We've also diversified into headless CMS as well, where we've got a separate standalone product.
Perfect, thanks so much. So the experience and the content products are now firmly separated as standalone brands. How has that changed the positioning of experience?
Sure. I'm not sure it's changed the positioning, if I'm honest. We very much see content as the platform for high enterprise. If you're looking at anything to do with true composable DXP, so best of breed kind of microservices environments, then content is very much the right fit if you're wanting the real best of kind of headless CMS. We're pretty lucky. We managed to get ahead of the curve with content probably 4 or 5 years ago. So we've always been able to have that kind of breadth of product right across anything from high enterprise to kind of low mid-market and all the way through the mid-market. We see experience as a DXP that meets basically the vast majority of the market's needs. So anywhere from mid-market to kind of low enterprise is where we see experience. And anything above that where it's really, really high budget is where content comes in and plays really well. I think what it has done internally, it's changed the focus. So even myself, I used to look after both brands and position both brands to clients. And there was always a little bit of confusion, and I had to kind of change the way that I worded sentences almost halfway through to say, oh, actually, they might be a content or an experience fit. What it's enabled us to do is everybody has a clear focus, and that's for the product as well. So we've got really clear product roadmaps for both platforms now, and also as a sales and a marketing team, we can really easily make it easier for the clients to understand where each product fits. So I think that's where the success has come in, splitting the brands.
Perfect, thank you. There's also a wider shift in the market towards software as a service. From your perspective, where does Kentico sit on the on-premise versus SaaS debate?
Sure. So, well, interestingly, I think we were the first CMS vendor to bring out a cloud-based service. I think it was in 2014. Obviously, cloud's come a long way since then, and so has Kentico Xperience. I think if you look at Kentico as a whole, you'll notice that when we brought out content, which was kind of 4 years ago, we took that opportunity to make sure that we were SaaS first in a very modern architecture. And absolutely, if we could be SaaS with experience currently today, we would be. But the way that that platform had been developed over those numbers of, I think, 15 plus years, meant that it was very difficult for us to just switch on SaaS overnight. So what we've done, we've took that away. We've redeveloped, or in the process of completely redeveloping experience in that newer modern architecture, and that means that from March we'll have a SaaS solution for experience as well as content. So I think the other thing with Kentico is it's all about choice. So although we're going to have the SaaS option available to us, we don't want to force customers into taking that approach. We've got many government clients that still rely on on-premise. We also have kind of thousands of agency partners that work with us worldwide who have great hosting solutions, and they do above and beyond what our SaaS solution will do. So it's not a case of mandating clients to move to SaaS. We just want people to have a real choice over the way that they deploy. And the other thing is the way that we're trying to do SaaS is in a very Kentico way. So we're going to release an offering that's transparent in pricing. So you'll have your tiers and you'll know exactly what your hosting is going to cost month on month. There will be no hidden charges, and it's very much kind of a Kentico way of doing SaaS.
Great, thank you. Unlike other digital experience platforms, Kentico has primarily been driven by organic growth and development, leveraging some of the partnerships with other platforms that help extend the capabilities of experience. What's driven that different approach, and how does it set Kentico Xperience apart?
Sure. So I think a big driver behind that's our CEO, Peter Pallis. So we're relatively unique in a software company of our size and of our standing to still be profit funded. So he still 100% owns us. And I think that's, I mean, I don't want to say noble, but it proves that we've got a platform and a business model that's been gradually increasing and growing over a number of years. It means that the platform's stable, people like working with it, but it also means that as a business we're profitable and we invest back into it. From a technology point of view, the platform itself has been built from the ground up, and everything that we've done has been built on either client feedback, so we need this in the next release, or it's been something that we've seen internally will increase and improve the platform. And with that, it means that we haven't acquired any other companies. We haven't tried to mash products together that don't work. We've got a really seamless product that works across content, marketing, and commerce, where all of those areas were built hand in hand and they work seamlessly together. It means that you've got one database, and it also means that you've got one user interface. So from an end client point of view, if you're looking at taking on a new project, you don't have to mash together lots and lots of different systems, even through single vendors, which we're seeing a shift in the market now, where other single vendors will have multiple products that were not built to work together. They're kind of being mashed together. With Kentico, all of it works seamlessly and will always work seamlessly together because it's been built that way.
Many of the analysts have laid their stalls out on the topic of composable architecture and experiences, whether that's composable DXP, commerce. So as organisations embrace this idea of composable, to varying extents, obviously, how is Kentico Xperience planning to address that?
So there's kind of, the way that we see it, there's going to be a shift in the market, and there is a shift in the market to composable. So the first thing is that we saw that 5 years ago with content, and we made sure that we had something that filled that gap for that best of breed microservices composable architecture. And we'll see that as one of the main strands. So kind of high budget, when you've got large marketing teams, you want the best possible product for each individual area, then it's composable is probably the right fit for you. And it works with companies that have got really high digital maturity. They're looking for the best. They've got lots of money to spend, and it's a really good way of going. The difficulty with it is you need large teams. You need a large budget, and also you'll have lots of different UIs, lots of different integrations, and there'll be reliance on agencies and IT from a marketing perspective. We then see there's probably a second strand that's starting to occur into something called the integrated DXP, and that's where it's single vendors, so single, probably more traditional DXP vendors have started going and acquiring smaller kind of MarTech or ad tech technologies and mashing them together in a way that they probably weren't meant to be. The beauty of that is obviously you get kind of fresh products or new products coming into your single vendor. The problem with that is obviously the integrations were not meant to be that way. And secondly, you're still just with a single vendor, so you've got kind of that single vendor locking. It's not easily decomposable. Where Kentico Xperience is going is much more, we're calling it unified DXP, and you're starting to see this is a trend in the market as well, where we still believe that as a platform we can offer so much. So you can do your content, you can do all of your digital marketing if you want to, you've got personalization, automation, commerce engines as well. And we think that having those core set of technologies within a single platform is not a bad thing, and it's not something that's going to go away. And where we see clients that we speak to, not everybody has multi-million-pound budgets, not everybody has huge marketing teams that are going to be able to get to grasp with all of these different systems. It's about giving them a core set of technologies that they can use, while at the same time we're not arrogant enough to think that the platform can do all of these things as well as everybody else in the market. I think there's like 20,000 MarTech technologies at the minute, so we recognise we're probably not going to be the best in every single one of those. So take, for example, we've just recently integrated natively with Binder as a digital asset management tool. So we know that our asset management tool within Kentico Xperience is not the best of breed on the market, but we want to be able to offer clients the ability to start working with the best of breed if they want to. So I'm going to call it kind of unified yet composable. So yes, you have kind of a core set of the functionalities you need, but what the system is, and again it's leaning back on that architecture of everything being built from the ground up, is really easy to integrate with. So all a single UI, and then you can integrate with the pieces of the stack that are either missing or you think could be improved above and beyond experience. But having experience, it enables you to kind of start from a place where you've got a lot of the core technologies, and it will help you build up your digital maturity because you can start doing different things all within the same platform. And then if you need to go above and beyond, you've got the option to do that with easy integrations and composable architecture.
Great, thanks, Ben. I know that Xperience is embarking on a grand and exciting journey, but for the wider audience, what can we expect from Xperience in the next 12 months to 2 years?
blimey. So I think over the next 12 months, the biggest thing you'll see with Kentico Xperience is the release of the next generation platform. So that's going to take on board all of those things that I've talked about. It's going to be much easier to integrate with again, so fresh modern architecture. There'll be a full headless layer, so you can start to deploy in different ways and modern ways as well as really improved technology right across the platform. I think the SaaS will be a big thing that comes with that as well. So once that's released, so first release I think is kind of March next year, and that will continually develop over time. One of the main and key reasons for us changing the way that the platform is built is that we want to be able to react even quicker to client requirements. So we're going to start releasing every month. We're going to start being able to kind of really change the product really quickly, which I think traditional CMS vendors and even the big old DXP platforms that you have at the minute find it very difficult to do. So it's all about being quicker to market. Outside of that, we're expecting the company to continue to grow. We're going on a really big growth drive. We're going to increase our product teams, our marketing teams, and we want to kind of make a big noise in the market about this great new product that we've got coming.
Great. Super excited to be part of the journey with you, Ben. Thanks so much.
Cheers, Geoff.
Cheers.